Let's set the scene. A man is just driving down a road he knows well. The engine humming along. But that comfortable hum is about to stop. He's about to have a chance encounter that will slam his past and his present together in a way he never, ever saw coming. And just like that, the car starts sputtering and pulls to a stop. A flat tire. The driver glances around, and, lucky for him, there's a small workshop right on the side of the road. He calls out, just hoping to get a quick fix and get back on his way. A pretty normal everyday hassle, right? Well, not exactly. Out from the garage, an older man steps into the light. You can tell he spent years working with his hands. This is Wasim, the shop owner, just getting ready to help another stranded driver. He calls back with a dutiful, "Yes, sir." The kind of reply he's probably given 1,000 times before. He grabs his tools, heads toward the car, and has absolutely no idea that this isn't just another job. This is a moment that's been decades in the making. So, as the mechanic gets closer to the car, the driver's eyes just go wide. Wait a second. There's something about this man's face, a flash of recognition. This isn't some random stranger. This is his old boss, the man he worked for when he was just a kid. The driver's name is Taha, and his story is just getting started. So you can just imagine the scene, right? The air is thick with shock. Here are two men, separated by years and totally different lives, now standing right in front of each other. One is a successful guy who owns a nice car. The other is still that same roadside mechanic. The surprise is just immense for both of them. Wasim is the first one to break the silence, and his voice is just filled with pure disbelief. The Taha he remembers was this poor kid who always had his nose in a book. Seeing him now, as a car owner, it just doesn't add up in his mind. How on earth did this happen? Well, to understand that, we've got to go back, way back. Okay, so let's hit rewind and go back to where this whole story really kicks off. Years and years ago, in this exact same workshop, a young Taha spent his days covered in grease and oil. But his mind was always somewhere else, usually tucked away in the pages of a book. This was pretty much the daily soundtrack for Taha, courtesy of his boss, Wasim. See, Wasim didn't see ambition in Taha's reading. He just saw a kid wasting time, distracting himself from the real work of making money. He was always scolding him for it, just totally dismissing his passion for education. But Taha, he wasn't bothered. Not really. One day, after getting teased one too many times, he made this incredibly bold promise. He didn't say it to be arrogant. He said it with his quiet, burning fire of a kid who had a dream that nobody else could see. And Wasim? He just laughed. This slide really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? You got this massive clash in how they see the world. For Wasim, life was super simple. You work hard, you earn money, and that's how you survive. End of story. But for Taha, the hard work was just a temporary step. It was a means to a much, much bigger end. He was convinced that education was the only real way to break free from poverty for good. So you might be wondering, where does a kid get that kind of incredible drive? Well, it wasn't something he was born with. It was something that was forged in the fire of his own life, a reality that made him grow up way, way too fast. The big turning point, the moment everything changed for Taha, came when he was just in the 11th grade. His father, who was the family's only source of income, passed away unexpectedly. And just like that, their whole world was turned upside down. I mean, with his father gone and his mother too sick to work, the family was literally on the verge of starving. The entire weight of their survival suddenly fell onto young Taha's shoulders. He had to make a choice that no kid should ever have to make: drop out of school and get a job at Wasim's workshop. But here's the crucial part. While he had to leave the school building, he never, ever left his education behind. His life became this unbelievably grueling routine. We're talking long, back-breaking days fixing cars, followed by long nights hunched over his books. He actually enrolled in an open university and would carry his textbooks everywhere, trying to steal any free second he could to study, all while people around him were making fun of him for it. So what gets a person through something like that? Day after day of exhaustion and ridicule? Well, for Taha, it was this right here. It was this deep, unshakable faith. He truly believed that all his effort, all his sacrifice wasn't for nothing. He was sure it had a purpose, and that one day it would all be rewarded. And you know what? It was. Slowly but surely, all those seeds of hard work started to grow. His life began to change, piece by piece, victory by victory, moving him further and further away from that greasy workshop floor. And you can see his whole journey laid out right here. First, he totally aced his exams, excellent grades. That success got him a spot in the best university in the city, and from there, he could finally quit the workshop. He started tutoring other students to pay his way. Then, after graduating, he landed a fantastic job and worked his way all the way up to become a manager at a big company. Every single one of those steps was a direct result of the hours he spent with his books. And all of that, all those years of struggle and studying, brings us right back to where we started. Back to that dusty roadside, that flat tire, the old mechanic, and the successful man in the car. This is the moment the past finally catches up to the present. And when Taha says this, you can hear the pride in his voice, but there's no arrogance there. He's not rubbing it in. It's just a statement of fact. It's the fulfillment of that promise he made, not just to his old boss, but more importantly to himself all those years ago. And in that one moment, it all clicks for Wasim. He hangs his head, and it's not just out of shame, it's